Good morning from the Pompey Observatory with the first results of testing the Weboost Drive Sleek. I took it to a remote location with very little 5G cell coverage and performed the testing as thoroughly as I could. Putting the cell phone in the cradle was straightforward. It fit nicely. And as I looked at the cell coverage without turning the cradle on, I had 0 bar for all intents and purposes. When I turned the power onto the cradle, it went to about 4 bars. So this is the difference without the Weboost turned on and with the Weboost turned on. I used a signal meter on my phone. I'll have a link to that down in the description if you want to get the copy. And it showed low without the Weboost turned on. When I turned it on, it obviously jumped up. This is the chart showing the signal as it went without and with the Weboost turned on. Obvious improvement there, quite a few dBs. The proof of the pudding, the speed test. 1.43 megabit per second download, and the ping was 164 milliseconds, jitter 130, upload, which is the main reason I want to use it, was 0.06. I did not expect any better without the Weboost. When I turned the Weboost on, it jumped to 2.15 megabit per second. Jitter dropped down to only 8 milliseconds. Ping down to 66. This is the big comparison. Without the Weboost, with the Weboost. Very significant improvement. I went on to repeat the same test from a different location. Again, without, it was 6.8 megabit per second. This location does have cell coverage a little bit better. The upload, nothing impressive. The results were 7.47 and 0.96 without the Weboost. Repeating with the Weboost, and you can see it is several bars now. It was no bars earlier. Upload again is significant, and the results were 24.9 and 3.14. This is the comparison from a different location that was slightly better. We went from 7 megabit per second download to 24.9, and we went from 0.96 megabit per second upload to 3.14 pi. Then the challenge was to see if it will work with my 5G enabled tablet. That proved to be tricky because the antenna and the tablet turned out to be right next to the camera, and putting it in the cradle proved problematic because that's where the power on-off switch is. Finally managed to put it on, and the results were underwhelming. This is without, this is with. We went from half a bar to 3. There is the difference between the two. The signal went from 26 low to 28 low. Not much of an improvement. When we went to looking at the speed test, 0.61, 22.8. Remember, the tablet has a much larger antenna to start with than the cell phone. We went only fractional improvement. So, what do we do with it? This is what we do. those results with the cell phone at Rice Creek Field Station with essentially no cell coverage went from 0.06 megabit per second upload to 2.15 megabit per second upload. Those two numbers are the reason I'm keeping it. And the next test drive is going to be from the Pompey Cemetery, and then eventually from the Adirondacks, going to Bortle 1, Bortle 2 regions where there is very little, if any, cell coverage. So that is the wrap for this first test. Results mixed, good with the cell phone, not so good with the tablet. I'm keeping the device.